more changes and alterations are set to take place, as the second season of What If is coming ever so close to being released. And with that in mind, more and more scenarios which could take place, as the events and characters that are coming through are already known, with all of them having a say in this alternate multiverse deviation that will blow our minds. Disney Plus Day 2021 was a huge deal, an event that everyone waited for with a lot of expectations in their mind, and we were not disappointed. Many announcements came through about so many Marvel projects that have already been released and that are about to release, including the second season of What If, for which we are here today. Expected to return in the closing weeks of the summer of 2022, around the same time the first season aired. We are about to go even deeper into things, as there will be even more changes coming our way, events, and characters that will get their stories altered just a bit, but more than enough for us to notice a difference in storytelling. After enlisting the Guardians of the Multiverse to stop Infinity Ultron, the Watcher will return in the second season to meet new heroes and explore even stranger new worlds in the ever-expanding Marvel Multiverse. And the news didn't stop there. We will probably be getting more than just 2 seasons of the fan-favorite animated series, with each next season being released the upcoming year. So that is great, but for now, we will focus on what is in store for us in the second season.
We're not real. You watch us fight. Win.
First things first. One of the best things about the series was the confirmation of A.C. Bradley returning as the head writer of it, which is probably the most crucial thing, after all, as she is the one that pulls all the strings for the series and how the stories develop moving forward. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, managed to get a hold of Bradley and asked her about the second season of the animated series, and even though she warned us that there is not a lot she can talk about, she was able to share some information about the second season. The second season's first episode, as we know by now, will feature Gamora, an episode that was supposed to be part of the first season, but due to some regulations, and all the COVID-19 regulations regarding the filming side of things, it had to be cut out, and instead we are going to get it as the first episode for the second season, which is a good thing, as it can serve as some kind of reminder for how things ended in the first season. Catch-up episode to put it short. Bradley also reminded us that the name of the game for the first season was so big. Let's end the world and kill everyone, something the second season will move on from, with it focusing more on the character stories, a new direction the series will get for the second season, a major detail that will probably change with every next season of the series, with the second one showcasing a very different side to our favorite characters. And with that in mind, we can safely send out a warm goodbye to the strange storylines on an epic scale and wait for the second season's character development, as many like to call the short summary of what is yet to come for the second season of What If. To make it easier for you, the story of the second season will go more in the direction of the fourth episode of the first season, where the animated series dove into the mind and soul of Doctor Strange, and less into the end of the world storylines, which, if we reflect upon, lacked character development, which is also why we understand this huge change that we are about to witness, hopefully by the end of August 2022.
Ultron was now just a program without a purpose.
Who said that?
The Watcher was the narrator of the series, and much like in the comics, in the What If series, he is bound by an oath of non-intervention. However, with him finally breaking his own rules by the end of the first season and interfering in the events of the multiverse, he set the second season to become an even better version of the series. Infinity Ultron attacked the Watcher in his home at the nexus of reality, overwhelming him and forcing him to take unprecedented steps, which made him the Nick Fury of the series, as he was the one to gather the Guardians of the Multiverse, and the TV show could improve on this by keeping them as the MCU's version of the Exiles, a dimension-hopping superhero team who don't just observe, but instead actively interfere. We know we would be down for that, as it would pose for a thrilling thing to see in the future. This way, the series would bring us a more compelling lens through which alternate timelines could be explored, excluding the entire voice of God narration associated with the Watcher, and instead giving us emotional reactions to the strangeness of the new realities the, let's call them exiles for now, encounter. This would also make for an even easier adaptation of some of the characters from the series to get adopted to the live-action MCU. For example, imagine Captain Carter stepping in to help Doctor Strange in his fight in the multiverse. It would be an exciting thing to see, right? much like what the Doctor Strange sequel will do with Supreme Strange in less than a month. As we move forward with the series, we can see a double-edged sword in front of us. Now, what does it exactly mean? Well, the first season of What was a hard sell with the audiences, and it was mainly because the show consistently changed things up and focused on a different sacred timeline deviation, and fans looked forward to that as the series presented to them the endless possibilities for how the MCU could have been different. This is good and all that, but this also showed to us that Marvel kind of forgotten the one thing they have been best at so far: characterization, as the series ignored the continuity and character development. And this is why it will be an interesting thing to see how Marvel Studios will continue with the series, knowing this fact looming over their heads. Maybe that is why we are going to get a little bit more character development in the second season. Or is there an entirely different reason behind it? Whatever the case may be, we can say with certainty that we will all be excited for the long-awaited second season of the TV show when it eventually releases. The second season, as we said before, will focus on the events and the characters that got introduced in the MCU's Phase 4. Thus, keep an eye on some major plot points and character developments you have seen so far, as they might be the details that will be changed entirely in What If, which, put together with a watcher breaking his oath, could prove to be an interesting take on what we have seen so far in the MCU. That is, after the Infinity Saga ended. The Watcher ultimately reached his goal of protecting the multiverse, but at what cost? What will be the consequences of his actions? Surely, his meddling will have some repercussions that will have a much bigger impact on everything in major ways. His status of being the active protector signals an even bigger, more active role in the future, a state the multiverse is in right now that could spell disaster in the near future. However, with the likes of Shang-Chi and all the others that are about to come to the series, we think that we have nothing to worry about. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the series so far? And about the fact that the entire project might become an annual thing moving forward. What event or which character are you most excited to see featured in the series from Phase 4 of the MCU? Now that we know that the second season will focus on that particular phase of the MCU. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.